I work with young people living with HIV back in Zimbabwe, part of an organization known as Zimbabwe Young Positives. And mostly we work around ensuring that young people living with HIV, especially young women and adolescent girls, have access to sexual reproductive health commodities such as condoms, contraceptives, as well as information and services that they may need. Well, some of the challenges that I faced as a young woman were mostly related to sexual reproductive health. When I started to experience puberty, having my breasts grow and things like that, it was really a very difficult time because for my period, actually, I got my period late, and I remember I was asking my friends how it felt like to have a period, and one was telling me, the different phases of having the period. I think she was trying to explain period pain to me somehow, and then it was really something that was so funny to me because at one point I was anticipating my period to come, but at the same time I was also very scared of my period coming because it somehow illustrated that I would have grown up, that I'll be not a child anymore and I'll be a woman. So, but at the same time, I didn't want to be left out like the other young women and girls who had already had their period. So each and every time, I remember when I was in my 7th grade, I would always look out for that stain on my uniform to show that it had happened. For me, it was more of a personal experience that I wanted to touch the lives of other young women and girls because I had been a young woman who had grown up without access to information or services or mentors or motivation of any sort. So initially what I wanted to do was to say, what about the other young women and girls who are like me, who won't have the guts to ask for information or demand for services at the healthcare facility. So I wanted to be that kind of support person, that peer person who was going to help them realize their potential, realize what services are out there for them, and realize the information that they're supposed to have. I wanted to have an adolescent and youth support group for young women and girls living with HIV because I noticed there wasn't one. And the funny part is when we actually started the support group, there were older people. I was the youngest. And to me, that was really demotivating because I had really looked out to having a lot of young women come in and a lot of young people come in so that we could talk about issues around HIV and SRH that could be affecting us as young people. So I started that support group within my community, regardless of who had attended, and we just started talking about issues around sexual reproductive health and HIV and how we can prevent HIV, and for those that were HIV positive, how we can manage and maintain HIV, and also how we can be able to access medications and how we can be able also to interact with other young people and to speak out and mentor other young people as well who might be suffering in silence, who might be struggling with disclosure, who might be struggling with stigma and discrimination, and who might also be struggling just with any other general adolescent issues that they may have at that time. Society. Don't let society define you. If you are a young person, especially young people living with HIV, do not let your status define you. You define your status. And do not let the societal roles that are placed on our lives define us. A young woman can be what she wants to be in life. She can follow her dreams and actually reach her fullest potential. All you have to do is just to look inside and find out what you're passionate about and run with it. I know that it's not always going to be hard because I know most of the time people tell us, oh, it's as easy, it's like, but sometimes it's hard. And even if it's hard, keep on pushing. Just know that it's hard, but you'll keep on pushing and succeed and actually reach the goals that you want to reach.